Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for another Dialogue with the Dean, bringing you some campus updates from Purdue University and the College of Pharmacy. As always, if there are questions about the things we talk about today, please feel free to leave us a comment on the chat there, and we'll come back and answer your questions. Well, today we have with us Greg Kapp. Greg is the Vice President for Development for the Purdue for Life Foundation. Greg, thanks for being with us today. We're going to talk about the Purdue Day of Giving. So thanks for being with me.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
For those who may not have heard somehow about the Purdue Day of Giving, what is the Purdue Day of Giving?
So Purdue Day of Giving, we're going to be doing our 8th one next week. Now, Purdue Day of Giving is kind of it's morphed into a fortnight. It's a 2-week social sharing kind of extravaganza leading up to a 24-hour period where we singularly focus all of the social media posts and email, personal outreach, every way we can think of to have a focused effort to raise funds for Purdue on that day. Across campus, every unit, across the system actually. We have Fort Wayne in Northwest participating for the second year. So it's become kind of a focal point in the spring and a bit of a rallying point for campus, and it's been a lot of fun to watch it evolve.
So take us back a little bit. What was the origin of the Purdue Day of Giving? Why did we start it? What was the reason for starting the Purdue Day of Giving?
If you think back to the years after the campaign for Purdue, so that window from about 08 to about 13, we had a big recession in there. We had the end of the campaign for Purdue, and our number of donors began to decline. We had about a 9-year slide in the number of donors, and our participation rate, our alumni participation rate, had slipped below the Big Ten average. And at the end of the academic year in 2013, we were sort of dead last in the Big Ten in fundraising. And so when President Daniels came in and appointed Amy Noah as VP, Amy brought me back from the Community Foundation, and Mitch said, come up with a big idea and turn this thing around. So we have 2 young ladies who you've met, Eric, in our department that are half my age and twice as smart, and they architected Purdue Day of Giving. So back then, social media was not quite the phenomenon it is now, especially for fundraising. So the strategies behind this were to how can we engage new audiences that we're not reaching with traditional mail and phone. So young alumni, students, international alumni. If we can reach some of these new people, we can start to re-energize and build a donor base. And so that's how the whole thing started.
Well, it's been wildly successful to the point where many people don't realize that other universities now come to Purdue to teach them how to do days of giving, I think. That's true, right?
It's true. We used to spend after we do our press release after the day, we'd spend a bunch of time on the phone talking to people, and the half hour's up and you got to go. So what we ended up doing was starting a consulting practice within the foundation. And before pre-COVID, we had about a dozen or so consulting engagements going, and people were paying us for their model. The first notable one was NC State, which actually raised more money than we did in the first year of Day of Giving using our model and our coaching. So we were able to show that Purdue's model works really well, even outside of Purdue. So it's been a lot of fun.
So as you look at Days of Giving in the past, as you look to next week, or the coming up Purdue Day of Giving, what do you look forward to? What are highlights of the day for you?
The highlight of the day for me is the participation. The president gets excited about the big numbers, and that's great. But the fact that we've been able to grow the number of donors and grow the number of gifts substantially in each and every year that we've done this, as the thing has kind of caught on and taken off, to see the participation and the excitement, to see people doing social posts from half a world away that haven't been back on campus in a really long time, reconnecting. And then they come back and they make multiple gifts and they post social shares. And so that whole community building aspect of this is what, to me, gets me really fired up.
So, as we look to our Purdue Day of Giving coming up, what's going to be different this year?
Well, every year we try to keep a consistent theme, so you focus on Purdue Day of Giving and put Purdue first. So that doesn't change, but we try to have a fresh theme every year. The first year was granting opportunity, which is kind of stuck. and we've used that occasionally, but 2016 we used bigger and better. 2018 it was make your mark, and then there would be marketing, social posts and stuff that would play off those themes. So every year there's a slightly different theme, and this year it's Power Purdue's Next Giant Leap. So we're working really closely with the marketing and media folks at Purdue to get that unifying message, which is one of the keys to marketing into a day of giving. There will be, every year we have a student event to try to generate some buzz and some excitement on campus. This year there will be a carnival with a Ferris wheel out in the co-rec parking lot, and so if you ride the Ferris wheel up, you'll get a little different perspective on campus, which, excuse me, we hope will be a lot of fun for folks. And so it's just taking the theme of Purdue Day of Giving. We really, really want the Purdue community to focus on giving back, and then injecting a little bit of fun and a little bit of different themes to it every year.
Great. Well, usually in this format, we give the guest a chance to ask me a question or so. What are you curious about?
Well, one of the most important parts of a day of giving are kind of a campus-wide commitment, and you've kind of latched onto this and had some real success with it. So what's the key to the participation that you get from your college?
Well, we're very, very blessed with extraordinary alumni who are extraordinarily generous, and so we're very, very grateful to all of our alumni and friends that are out there that really do want the college to be the best, right? And so they are very eager to participate, very willing to participate. Amazing stories come out of Purdue Day of Giving for us. Certainly our team has done a lot of behind the scenes work to set the stage for some of our larger gifts, but really for us it's the excitement of seeing the smaller gifts come in, balanced with the larger gifts, that creates a tremendous opportunity for us. I can tell you my Big Ten Dean colleagues in pharmacy have caught notice, especially last year, and they're like, what in the world are you all doing? You are doing in a day what most of us do in an entire year. And so we are very blessed with that. And so for us, it's really important that folks realize it's not about the size of the gift. It's about participation, right? And that's what we want. We want people to be part of this place and to be part of the excitement of seeing Purdue go to that next giant leap. Being able to support our students in their pursuit of their next giant leaps. And so I hope that everybody understands that really the opportunity is about participation. And we want folks just to do whatever gift they can, to do whatever they can that's appropriate for them, big or small, to support Purdue, support our students, and be part of what we're doing here. And so for us, I think we can think about the ways folks have been able to impact us, right, over the last several years. The big one is in student support. Major efforts here. We've seen major growth in student support at Purdue over the last several years. We are very proud of the College of Pharmacy's position that we are, by our accounts, the most affordable top 10 pharmacy program in the country. We, for the last 4 years, have been able to give out over $1 million of student support, which is extraordinary. And our students graduate amongst the Big Ten schools of pharmacy. They graduate with the least amount of self-reported debt. That's due to the extraordinary generosity of our alumni who support students. So when you give on the Purdue Day of Giving, you're really helping us achieve that, which is extraordinary for our students. We can support our Emerging Leaders program, which is really important as we seek to diversify our student body. And then lastly, individuals can support the Dean's Excellence Fund, which is a little bit nondescript, but really folks need to know that that's really the fund that we can use to invest in new strategic initiatives. And so we have a strategic plan. We have new things that we'd like to invest in. One of those we did a few years ago was the Center for Health Equity and Innovation, which has really exploded in terms of opportunity. It was really key to our ability to recruit Dr. Jerome Adams, the former U.S. Surgeon General, to Purdue to lead health equity initiatives. Having the Center for Health Equity and Innovation already up and running in Indianapolis was part of that story. The Dean's Excellence Fund allows us to make those sorts of strategic investments. So thank you to those who make those gifts to the Dean's Excellence Fund. So I think those are some ways that people can be involved and impact our college and really allow us to move forward. So I think it's going to be an exciting day. And so Greg, thanks for being with me. It's always good to see you and spend a little bit of time with you. And we look forward to seeing how things go on the Purdue Day of Giving. April 27, Wednesday the 27th, powering Purdue's next giant leap, and everyone can be a part of it. So I hope you'll join us on that day. Check the leaderboard, see how the College of Pharmacy is doing and how the university is doing on that day. But it's going to be a great day.
We're looking forward to it, and working with folks like you makes it much more rewarding, so thanks.
Thanks, Greg. Well, thanks for being with us. Thanks for watching the video. As always, if you have comments, leave those. We'll come back and answer questions. And if you have topics that you'd like to see us cover in future videos, be sure to leave those suggestions as well. Again, Wednesday, April 27, Purdue Day of Giving, powering Purdue's next giant leap. As always, hail Purdue and boiler up.
Boiler up.